Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Hi, I'm Rhett Brooks. I'm Director of Marketing. Hold your applause. Hold your applause. I'd like to introduce our next speaker. We first met Mandy Vavrinak when she was assisting the city of Glenpool with their special events when we did our groundbreaking for both our store in Glenpool and our new office. And we're really impressed right then with her capabilities as a marketing expert. But okay, I'm told that I'm not, for once in my life, I'm not loud enough. But how's that? As I would say. I next ran into Mandy a couple of times around town when I would go to social media and internet workshops, and Mandy was a featured speaker. I was really impressed then. Had no idea that she is the preeminent expert on social media for the city of Tulsa. And I thought if we ever get the opportunity to have her at our franchise meeting, we needed to grab it. And we were lucky enough that this year her schedule opened up for us to where she could be with us here today. So I'd like to introduce, without any other further ado, the managing partner of Communicating Arts here in Tulsa, Mandy Vavrinak.
We will attempt this.
Can y'all hear me? All right, excellent. I will attempt not to fall off the stage or bump Jaffa, but I make no promises. They rarely let me wander around on stage because I typically have bad things happen. So as Rhett said, I own Communicating Arts, and that is a marketing firm here in Tulsa. We do a lot of social media management. We work with a lot of businesses. We work with some restaurants. So I am over there at the hands-on booth after this. If you have questions, my job today is not to sell you stuff, it's just to help you with your page or get started. So if you have questions, ask me. But what I'm going to talk about today is the truth about social media. And that is whether you want to or not, whether you like it personally or not, whether you think everybody who uses it is under the age of 20 or not, you have to do it. Because the fastest growing segment on Facebook is people 50 and up. So if you think that you only are talking to people who aren't like you on social media, you're wrong. Everybody is on some form of social media. And if you want to sell to some segment of everybody, you should be too. So, and we're ready, Brady. Oh, it's over there, okay. I was looking back here and that's not. So what we're gonna talk about with social media is why you wanna be on it in the first place, and that's discovery. People cannot buy from you if they don't know who you are, what you sell, and where you are. Social media is the connection engine for most of today's society. It's how we tell people what we like, it's how we tell people where we are, or what we want. So it's not really about saying, hey, I had this for lunch, although if your customers are saying, I had this for lunch and it was awesome, all the better for you. It is about how you get from here to there. So discover, connect, and convert. Nobody cares about how many likes you have on Facebook. I'll be the first person to tell you that I don't measure your success by whether you have a big audience. We measure your success by butts in seats and cash register sales. I mean, do we not? Isn't that what you care about? So the purpose of this is to connect with people and then convert them to customers. So that's the only reason that we're talking to you about this today. If you can build those connections and nurture them over time, you will have conversions. You will have customers, and they will do the job of marketing your store for you. People buy from people they like. It's a truth in sales, it always has been. So if they like you, not the Facebook sense that I clicked your page, but they actually feel like they're connected to your store as a part of their community, they will buy from you and they will help share that message. So how big is this social media audience? Who are we talking about? Right now, today, there are, I have to look at the handy dandy list over here, that is where we are in the middle, 2017. That's what's projected to happen for the audience in social media in America. So if you hear people saying, oh, Facebook is over or social media is dead, no, that audience is going to continue to grow. That is 210 million people. There are only 365 million people in the US. So 3/4 of them are on social media. And it's only going to continue to rise. Next. Yeah, so why did we start with Facebook? That's why. That top graph there is the Facebook graph. Of all the people on social media, 42% of them are on Facebook and nothing else. So if you think that you don't need to be on Facebook, 42% of the humans are on Facebook. If you want to sell pizza to them, you have to be too. The rest of this just goes right on down. And then these are your seniors on Facebook. So the far left, the blue bar is 18 to 29, the black bar is 30 to 49, the green bar is 50 to 64, and that gold bar is 65 and up on various platforms. Now take a look at how many people are on Facebook who are not in the youngest demographic. Where do you think grandmas go today to get pictures of their grandkids?
Right.
I mean, seriously.
Right.
Can you sell them pizza? Yeah, can. Instagram is very heavily in the 18 to 29, but lest you forget, Facebook bought Instagram. When you market on either platform, you're marketing to both of those audiences. You can use them together. You don't have to maintain 100 different accounts to get that audience reach. Now over here, what we have is the distribution of Facebook users by age group and gender. The blue bar is women, the black bar is male, and those are the age cohorts. So if all the Facebook audience, the highest demographic is in that 20 to 34 range, but 35 to 44, 45 to 54, 55 to 64, and take a look at 65 and older. There's those grandmas, y'all, right there. So do not ignore that your entire audience is present. I mean, millennials depend on this that's how they get news. They find out about the world through what happens on their phone. News, information, entertainment, they buy tickets, they buy food. It's how they live their life. And the buttons on the phone, if there's a phone number listed, you can click it and it calls. Talking to a gentleman earlier today who has a Google listing for his business. And last month, 293 phone calls came via his Google listing. When do people call your restaurant? Because they want to talk about the weather? Because they want to just have random, they call because they want pizza. They want to know if you're open, if you have any specials, if they can do an order right then. So that is instant business. And that's 293 phone calls he wouldn't have got without having a basic listing on Google. Facebook's the same way. If there's a phone number, it's clickable. If there's a link in a post that I see on my phone when I'm scrolling through that Facebook list, it's clickable. If you post about your online ordering options to Facebook, people can go, oh my gosh, I need that in my life. Done. That's why you should be on Facebook. So how do you do this successfully? Number one, you have to be active. If you have not posted on your Facebook page since 2014, I need to talk to you, like right now. You have to be present, respond and reply. We had a question this morning that came into the corporate Facebook page, not a store page, but the corporate headquarters page. Is BB Arkansas hiring yet? They didn't know who else to ask, so they asked us. So we found the team who's opening the BB store and said, are you hiring? Can we tell her how to do that? And so she's sending an application in today because we responded. So if you respond and reply, that's the number one thing. If you have a negative review, you're going to get it. You cannot make all the humans happy all the time. You just can't. You can do everything right, maybe they're having a bad day, and they're going to blast you on Facebook or Google. You can't help that. You can, however, remove emotion and respond with a reasonable response, which should always be, whatever it is, I'm sorry you had that experience. If you'll email me details, put an email in. I'll be happy to look into that for you. End. Because what happens is you take that conversation off of Facebook and you have it in a person-to-person kind of communication where you can deal with that person's upsetness. But you don't want to ask somebody what happened on Facebook because you don't know. What if there was an issue with an employee or with the food? That needs to come to you personally via an email rather than on Facebook. But you respond to that reasonably and the rest of the world sees that. Oh, they treat their people right. They didn't ignore that complaint. They responded. They care about what we think. But those two phrases, I'm sorry that happened. If you'll email me details, I'll look into that. Sometimes followed by, thank you for letting us know your feedback. Those are the key things. And that will diffuse 98% of your situations on social media. The other 2%, there's some crazy out there. You're just gonna have to accept that there's some crazy. You can you go back for a second, I'm sorry. Move with the speed of social. Social media and your phone is an immediate engagement tool. Again, think about what you're doing with your phone. Are you ever on your phone looking for something that you just sort of think about, I might want sometime in the future, maybe. Typically, you're searching for something because you want it right now. Half of all US households, half, are Amazon Prime members. What's the benefit of Amazon Prime? Anybody? I get my stuff in 2 days free. I get it right now when I want it. That is the beauty of the phone. So you have to actually be present for that social cycle. Ask questions, answer questions, be original. If you are the store in BB and your football team just won a state championship, oh my goodness, you have like the social bonanza of a lifetime. So you want to be taking pictures of the football game and saying congratulations to our BB Warriors, I don't know who they are, but we'll go with Warriors, and post that. If you feed the football team a championship dinner after they win, and they're all in your store, and you can take those photos and say proud to support our BB Warriors, that is a huge win. For the price of pizza, you can have every parent, grandparent, friend, girlfriend sharing those photos and saying how awesome was this, that this restaurant took care of our team this way. That's the kind of original content that wins. If you have a budget for paid, do it. With $20 on Facebook, you can reach thousands of people that you define. I want them within 4 miles of my restaurant. I want them in this age group. I want people who say they like pizza. If you want other people's pizza customers, you can get them. Absolutely. We have tailored posts for if they say they like Domino's, or Mazio's, or Pizza Hut. If they have liked those pages, then I want them. Because I know they eat pizza. So you can absolutely tailor your content to pull other people's customers in for your store. Now we're ready. So when you start to do this, this is a graph from the corporate page, and we began some active posting toward the end of February. That's what happened with the engagement and the amount of activity on the page in a month's time. So if you focus on those efforts, you will see results. And the more people you connect with, the more people you convert, the more your sales grow. So some ideas for original content, behind the scenes stuff. I mean, your store is made up of humans. You have people doing the things. Show the people. They are part of the community. They have families, they have friends. You know, this dude is very happy to be making pizza today. And posting that picture, you know, we're here, we're ready to serve you. Don't sweat in the heat for lunch. We got that covered for you. You know, Justin says hi. I don't know if his name is Justin. He looks like a Justin to me, don't you think? I think he's a Justin. He is today. So people like to be in the know. Help them get to know your store and your people, because people buy from people they like. Let them like your people. What you really want, have you ever been, like you walk into a room, there's a party happening. You walk in and all the conversation stops. What do you know from that moment? Everybody was talking about you, right? You were the center of that conversation, you just didn't know it. If you can create that kind of a buzz online where everybody's talking about you, you win. And we don't want you to talk about things that are controversial, we don't want that kind of dinner party, but we do want you to understand that the more that you can be involved, the more you become the center of that dialogue, the more you can accomplish with just content. So how do people find out and tell other people what they like? Word of mouth is number 1, still 61%. Again, talking about you is good. Facebook, number 2. Of all the ways we as humans tell other humans what we like, word of mouth and Facebook. TripAdvisor and Yelp and all those review sites, way down there. So your Facebook reviews do matter. But what matters more is when somebody shares your content to their own page and say, I was just at Simple Simon's and I had this buffet today and it was awesome. You cannot pay for that kind of promotion. This is a graph of who actually matters, like as far as what they review. So there are almost 80% of the world says that they pay attention to online reviews. 80%. Then you got some people like, I look at that sometimes, I look at that rarely. 5%, I don't care about reviews. 5%. So if you walked by the booth out there, the hands-on booth this morning, and said, I don't care about social media, I don't care about Facebook, then you're marketing to 5% of the people who don't care about reviews. You just limited your audience to 5%. I mean, you have to care because everybody else cares. Best practices, just being there is not enough. You may think you don't have a Facebook page. You do, whether you know it or not, because Facebook is based on Bing Maps. If Bing, Microsoft, thinks you have a location, a physical location, it allows people to check into that location. And then it creates an unofficial page, a page you haven't claimed. And everybody can post content to that unofficial page. And typically it's bad stuff. They'll check in and go, this restaurant wasn't clean. Or your employees will check in, post a photo, here for 8 hours, I'm so bored. We saw both when we did some surveys of what's out there. So whether you think you are or you aren't, you are. And if you don't have an official page, you can't respond to those situations. You can't take down that content that really does not reflect your brand. So if you think I'm kidding, go to Facebook, or have your wife or your daughter or someone that you know do it, and search for Simple Simons and your town name. See what comes up. Here's some things you can do that work well. This is content from some of the Simple Simons stores. Food photos that are great food photos, absolutely. They're looking at them on their phone. A faraway shot of your buffet, a faraway shot of your restaurant, when it gets down to this size, doesn't help much. But beautiful pizza shots look great even close up. So go for great food shots, thank you to the community, events. This buffet shot is better because at least you get to, when it shrinks down, you still see the buffet in it. Make sure those shots are going to work as well on phones as they do on computers. If you need content, go to the corporate page and rate it. There are tons of photos there. You can download them and share them as often, as frequently, and whatever you choose. There's a post there that you think would work well for your store. Copy it, paste it, or just reshare it. You don't have to reinvent it, you can just steal it. We're good with that. What not to do? Don't go with a wall of text. This post on the bottom right is wrong for a couple of reasons, but one reason is it's a wall of text. You're on your phone. Who wants to read that? What do? You just scroll right on by that. Don't just straight sell. The sunglasses. They're like, we have sunglasses, you can buy them. Okay, I mean, there's nothing time-stamped about that, there's nothing motivating about that, it's not interesting other than if I really want to go to Sears, which now you can't even do that because they're closing, and buy sunglasses. Angry or overly emotional posts. Go back for me, Brady. So this is Amy's Bakery. Did any of you hear about Amy's Bakery in 2013 when they were on Restaurant Impossible? And Gordon Ramsay actually walked off the set because these people were so hard to deal with. This is how they responded. So at first they were ranting and raving, and they got some serious flack for that. So they made a new page and said, hey, we got hacked, that wasn't us. Then this was the next post. This is the final page I will make. I am sick and tired of you Reddits and Yelpers ruining everything. Stop. Just stop. By coming to this page, you agree to a legally binding contract, which is wrong, to not post derogatory comments or images. If you're here to do this, you can just leave now. I am better than this and don't need this shit from you nobodies. On Facebook. Thank you very much. In all caps. Like that's a direct screenshot. So how do you think that worked out for them? Not well. Not well. So if you're responding to something on Facebook that is negative, remove your emotion first. Make someone else read it for you. Because it's very easy. I mean, these are people who are attacking your baby. This is your blood, your sweat, your tears, your restaurant, and people are attacking it. I mean, you're going to have feelings about that. You cannot let those feelings control you. So make sure someone reads that for you and then you respond, because otherwise it can get very ugly very quickly. So if you're going to do this well, hire smart. If you have people in your business who you think are good at Facebook, that doesn't automatically mean they should be doing your Facebook. They may be great at technology, they might not have any knowledge at all of marketing or sales or your brand, but you can say, here's some guidelines, folks. If you want to post about Simple Simon's, the fact that you work here, we would love that, but could you please make sure that you let me see a photo before you post it, or let your manager see it. Do a little bit of training. 10 minutes of training with your staff will go a long way toward letting your people help you populate that page. Make sure that you're promoting your text campaign. You can go on Facebook and say, join our text campaign to get immediate, responsive promotions and deals. I mean, why are they on their phone? They're hungry. What motivates them? The kind of food they want at the price point they can afford. So cross-promote your social media accounts, because you can drive a lot of business that way with little effort. Build a culture of responsiveness. Just like in your store, you would not let somebody walk up to, if a customer came up to your counter and said, you know what, this order isn't right. Y'all messed this up. Would you let your people say, I don't care, deal with it? I mean, you wouldn't. Don't let them do it online either. If someone says, I have an issue with this order, train your people that responding is how we do this. And that's a culture thing. So if your attitude towards technology is, I don't do that, I can't do that, I'm not going to do that, you're teaching your people they don't have to either. So you have to lead from the top for that. Mistakes are going to happen. People are human. If you respond to a mistake as a human, not as an angry diatribe from Amy's Bakery, then you'll be fine. It's okay to be human. Now, if y'all have questions, I'll be happy to answer them, or you can see me back there. But I think we're going to move on to the next batch unless someone has something we have to answer from the stage.